Welcome, first-time listeners and returners to the Sports Deli. A little bit about your hosts today, Hootie Hoot. I coached college basketball for 23 years, 15 on the men's side and 8 on the women. And I now coach at a low-income, first-generation high school girls basketball here in San Diego. I played 4 years of college basketball. I'm a life coach. I have a beautiful daughter. I'm a professional basketball skills trainer. We love to share space with our guests here in the Sports Deli to talk about the intersection between race and sports, mental health, equality, leadership, sports, and solutions. We want to help mobilize, listen, learn, and pay it forward. You can always send us an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com. We're so honored that you're joining us today, and we hope that you can grab your favorite deli sandwich or bagel and your favorite beverage, and let's do this together in the Sports Deli. We're so honored on this 11th day of Hernia, PTSD, and Hunger Awareness Month, and 9 days away from Father's Day, to welcome from France, where she was born, former WNBA player Edwige Lawson-Wade. Edwige just finished her responsibilities as the general manager for BLMA in France, where they just recently won the French Cup. Edwige is our 12th WNBA player or coach to join us in the Sports Deli, and we can't thank you enough because we want to not only honor as many former players and coaches like you as possible, but honor this 25th season of the WNBA. Edwige is the wife of current Chicago Sky head coach James Wade, who we had on the podcast just a couple of short weeks ago. She began her professional career at age 17 and has played in France, Russia, Spain, and in the WNBA. She also won a silver medal as a member of the 2012 French Olympic squad in London. She played for the New York Liberty, Houston Comets, Seattle Storm, and the San Antonio Silver Stars. She's won 3 French championships, 2 Russian championships, 3 EuroLeague titles, and 1 European championship with France. She shares a birthday with Mark Zuckerberg, George Lucas, and Rob Gronkowski. You can find her on Twitter at Edwige_Lawson and on Instagram at Edwige Lawson. Now tell me, so Dwayne Wade is...
He's not related, but now he likes to
say that. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't think so, because it was said on Inside the NBA. Somebody had said it at one point.
Yes,
right? It was like an inside joke. That's right. He said it. That's funny. So tell everyone about your upbringing, because we had a couple people on from Canada, right? We've had Kayla Alexander. We've had Aislinn Koenig, both going to be playing in Tokyo. And so tell everyone about your upbringing, because you started playing professional early. And the only thing that I can think of is golf and tennis, where people play professionally at such a young age and bypass college and those types of experiences. So tell everyone about how it's different there, because and still people don't know about clubs there, versus here, because clubs here are very different than they are there, right?
A little bit. Let's say that clubs can be the same than in the WNBA. In France, in the WNBA, there is one big thing that is different, is the draft. There is no draft. So teams can basically take whoever they want, and there's no salary cap. So if a team has a lot of money, like we hear now in Russia, they can go out and pay Brittany Griner $2 million a season if they want to, compared to what she makes in WNBA. So the big difference in a country championship and a WNBA is maybe those 2 rules with the draft and the salary cap. Other than that, it's the same. It's games several times a week. It's 12 teams. It can be players from anywhere in the world. There's a limit on American players, though. But other than that, it's a professional league. There is no legal limit to be a professional. That's why I started at 17 years old. If you feel like you're ready to be a pro, and a club wants to give you a chance, then you can be a pro. So that's what I did.
Yeah, it's amazing. Your career spanned, what, 18 years?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, how was it growing up in France? So, so do you identify as a woman of color? How do you identify?
We do, but I would say that race, sorry, is not as as said in France than in the States. So growing up, I didn't really pay attention. I'm mixed. My mom is white, my father was black. So it's not something that is as let's say we will not have the black community as strongly as a community than the black community in the States, you know?
Yeah.
So I would say it's a little different, but of course I'm a woman of color, yes.
And so how was it growing up? Was basketball your first love? Was it your first sport? You know, why? And did you have support, like just playing sports as a woman, as a young girl?
Yeah, definitely. Like my father used to play basketball, and it was the five of us as kids. And right away, he made basketball mandatory for everybody. So we had no choice. No soccer, no nothing. You didn't want to hear no
Wow.
football, nothing. But right away, I loved it. I really, really loved it. So I started when I was 5 years old because I went to the practice of my older sisters. And
Wow.
from that day, I never stopped playing.
So at what point did you beat your sisters in one-on-one?
You know what? I left home early enough so they didn't have to lose.
That
They were lucky.
that's fine. So wait, you say you left home. Did you go live somewhere to train?
Yeah, because when you're around 14 years old, you can go to a place where you practice twice a day, and your studies are, you know, the school is organized so you can do both. It's in a professional club, and you're the junior team. So a professional club
Yeah.
always have a junior team. The juniors play from 14 to 17, 18, 20, 19, 20, depends. But it's what we call centre de formation. It's like a formation things for players that wants to become professional. So you have
Wow.
to be picked, you know.
So you obviously knew for a long time since you were 5, how serious you had to train, and the game was a little bit different. Like the game was transitioning back then. It wasn't, for lack of a better word, so fancy or creative.
Right.
It was just, were you encouraged to play like they play now, like to have the ball on a string and yo-yo the ball, or was it fundamentals, have both feet on the floor at all times when making fundamental passes, things like that?
Yeah, it was more like fundamentals, but I was lucky to have one coach that told me, because I love the NBA, I love Michael Jordan, I love watching American basketball.
Yeah.
So my game was a little different than the French basketball game. And some of the coaches would ask me to be more disciplined and more playing like with the fundamentals, no risk. And I had one coach that was like, keep doing what you do, keep crossing over, things like that. So it depends on where you play. And after, when I was a professional player, I didn't only play in France, I went to play in Spain and in Russia. And over there, they're even more open-minded in playing a little bit more spectacular, you know?
Yeah, right.
So the game was definitely not as fancy, and the players back then didn't have the talent that the players do have now. Back then, the crossover from Allen Iverson was amazing.
Yeah.
Now everybody know how to do a crossover, almost everybody, you know? Of course, everybody's
Yeah.
not Kyrie Irving, but you can see that the game really changed.
Yeah, you like the direction that the game has gone, and obviously for the women, it's evolved like tremendously. And the men's game it's very frustrating to watch sometimes. Like last night, I'm watching the fourth quarter of the game, and I'm just like, can we do something besides a pick and roll? You know what I mean? Like it's so frustrating. They're just standing around. Like I would even prefer someone posting up from a traditional standpoint and get some
Right.
cutters, cut into the basket and some movement. It's just like, they're just holding on for dear life to try and win the game. It's like so annoying to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I love the way the women game changed, because it's faster, it's more scoring. Before it
Yeah.
used to be low score. So I love the evolution of the women game. But the men's game, I feel like it's a lot of more one-on-one and pick and roll. And just
Yeah.
because you can't stop those guys one-on-one, so coaches wants to win, they gotta win. That's their
Yeah.
job. So their best chance, probably at the highest percentage, is to let Carrie play one-on-one, or whoever play one-on-one. The center position almost don't exist no more.
Yeah.
You see five guys out there behind the 3 plus 9, or one pick and roll. So yeah, it's different to watch, and I understand your frustration. Sometimes some teams I feel also like, okay, we're watching this the whole game.
Yeah, that's why I started to watch the regular season. There's so many games, the playoffs, at least you have different, level of intensity. So I want to ask you, so when you first started playing professionally, if my calculations are correct, it was about
Don't
98.
say it. Do not call them you.
Okay, sorry. No, but the reason the reason I ask is because the WNBA had just started, right, a year prior.
Yeah.
And so you went about 7 years before you were, in the WNBA. And so, was that a goal of yours, or was it not obviously, it wasn't as popular as being overseas, right? Because being overseas was the thing to do. Like people were making a little bit more bank than they were in the W.
Yeah, it's two different things. I would say for the notoriety, for the famous, for the celebrity part, WNBA will always be bigger than overseas. Now, of course, for players that can make more money overseas, they go overseas. But you can see nobody choose to go only overseas and not play for WNBA, even if the
Yeah,
check is smaller. Because
yeah,
this is the best league in the world, and you want to be a part of what's the best. So as soon as the WNBA started existed, yeah, for me it was a goal. It was a dream, then it was a goal because I realized I could be able to go. And once I finally went, it was really excited. Like it feels like I had to wait forever, but when I think about it, it was just few years. Especially when I start playing EuroLeague. In EuroLeague, some of the best American players come and play in EuroLeague, and that's when I was able to show what I can do, and for teams to trust me to sign me.
Then you go to New York, right?
Well, to be honest, I went to play in New York because one of my best friend was going there. And my agent was like, don't go to New York. They have Becky Hammond
Right.
and she wants to play the two. And I'm the size of Becky. He was like, they're gonna draft another point guard. It's not a smart choice. Go to Houston because we knew Houston wanted to sign me too. And I was like, no, I want to play with my friend. And that was not the right thing to do because after a few games, I got cut and I went to Houston for the season. So I didn't listen to my agent, and I should have, but I really tried to play with my friend in the States. You know, like when you're young, going to play in a new league in a big country like the States, you wanna have someone you can count on. You know, if you have
Yeah.
hard or anything.
Yeah, of course. Uh, we'll talk about Becky in a minute, but you played with or against some amazing players. Candace is still playing. Sue's still playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yes, yeah, yeah, exactly. So how was the game different? You played for a few years, and you had some really good years, and if the league had expanded, it's a long time coming. It's just ridiculous that it has. I think Kathy's doing a good job, and expansion is inevitable. Which rosters would expand as well. It's frustrating. I know your husband has, been faced with the whole salary cap thing, and
Oh my God, this is a nightmare.
the
Those rules.
nightmare.
Yeah, even me,
Yeah,
I can't follow.
yeah, it's crazy. Lexi's had to
Crazy.
wait. They just picked up Lexi, and she'll be, I think, active on Sunday. So it's a tough situation. It's very unequal when it comes to comparisons with the NBA and things like that.
Right.
So how was your experience in the W? Obviously, we want to, it's the 25th season this year. You've been a part of this.
That's why I got my shirt.
That's right.
I represent the
That's right.
WNBA.
We got our shirt over here,
I see it.
right,
Yeah.
right in the corner there. Yes, of course. But talk about your experience and just how I want to talk to you also about last year and what happened, and how proud you were of the sisterhood, and
Yeah.
how historic last year was on so many levels. Sports Deli is sponsored by Sport RX, the leader in sport prescription eyewear. You can find them online at sportrx.com. And don't forget to enter the code DELI10 at checkout for your special 10% discount. And now back to this incredible interview right here in the Sports Deli.
Well, first of all, just the talent and the level, even back then, like now I'm telling you that the game changes so much faster, but already when I played, it was already so fast, so physical. The girls are so talented, they can do it all. So when I went there, I would always need time to adjust because in Europe it's not that fast, it's not that good. So if I drive into the paint in Europe, I can have half a second to think and read the defense. Man, in WNBA, you got to do it like this, or it's a turnover, or block.
Yeah, right.
So just that, and the league is professional. The league started from nothing 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And already I feel like they're doing a great job trying to make it bigger, trying to evolve. Obviously, there's still a lot of things to do,
Yeah.
but also like anything else in the world, you need money to make things. So they gotta grow and they gotta keep getting help on that side. And about the players, man, like Becky Hammond was amazing. The things she could
Yeah.
do around the rim, the things she could do at the 3 point line or way further than the 3 point line. I guess she could have played today because she belongs to the game of today too.
Yes.
Yeah, and now she has a lot of experience. She's a very good assistant coach. I'm rooting for her to get a head coaching job. This is the next step for the NBA to trust a woman that can
Absolutely.
coach just like a man can coach. They have nothing to do if you're a man or woman to think the game. You just need your brain. So hopefully she will get that shot. I had a chance to play with Sue, with Diana in Europe. Those two players are amazing
Vicky
because the way they
Johnson.
play the game. Vicky Johnson, that is now the coach of Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah, in San Antonio, we had a great team with VJ,
Ooh,
Vicky Johnson, and
totally.
Becky Hammond. We
Crystal
went to
Robinson. Yeah.
Crystal Robinson, Ruth Riley. We went to the finals,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, we lost. And that's the only time in my career I was hurt and missed games, and it was for the WNBA finals. That was so harsh to watch from the sideline.
Oh,
It was against Bill and Bear and the Detroit. They were like the bad girls.
that's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Bill.
he was the part of the bad boys, but he made a team of bad girls too. That was their style of play. Swim Cash, that is now with in the NBA too. Like I love the fact that now we can see more and more women in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think that this is great, but I like also how the new commissioner is making the WNBA grow. And about what they did last summer, it's amazing. I see you
Yeah.
have your shirt, her name,
Yeah.
all the things they did, and people will be forgetting that at the same time they were playing, they were doing their
Yeah.
job. Had to win games, and it was in a bubble without family coming in, coming out. We saw so many injuries last summer, and through all that, they were still fighting for the right fight. So that's amazing, and that's also how the WNBA got even more popular because of their heart and what they do for the people.
Yeah, I mean, ratings are up in some
Yeah.
countries as much as 300-400%. The games are competitive. It's a shorter season, so I think there's a break this year because of the Olympics. But I think they're doing a great job. I really hope they expand, whether it's Toronto or Northern California. There's been some talk. The game's ready. To
Yeah, for
expand.
sure. And
Yeah,
there's no way to think that only 12 teams can gather all the talent around the world. That's just impossible. France have 12 teams, and we're like a
right.
small country compared to the
Totally.
States. So how 12 teams can do it? It's unfair for some of the players that belong in the league.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you're talking about a league that's already grossing $60 million, and it's only going to increase if you expand. So, but it's coming. I think the
It is. It's going the
pandemic.
right way. It's going the right way.
Yeah, it's definitely going in the right way. So, you talked about everybody that you played with. A lot of them are coaches now. Vicky's with the Dallas Wings, and you know Becky's probably going to be the first woman to coach in the NBA, whether it's this year with Indiana. There's a vacancy there, or wherever it is. She's obviously. I heard a story one time where she walked in the gym, just wasn't even paying attention, and she said, "Oh yeah, that angle won't work on the back door after the pick and roll." Like it's just like matter of factly, like they looked at her like, what is she talking about? She was like, you took the wrong angle to the basket. Like, it's never going to work. Just
Right.
little stuff like that she's just
She
got
knows
that
the
kind of
game.
mind.
She
Yeah,
knows
she
the
can
game.
coach the game. And that's all they care about, right? It doesn't matter who you are, as long as you make someone better, max their potential out, and you care about them, right?
Mm.
So, I just want to follow up with last summer because we talk a lot on the show. Leadership and equality is very important. And I don't think we should ever overlook or underestimate the importance of the historic season last year. Not only you talked about how the bubble affected everybody, some people opted out, but they had to play and they had to figure out a plan to deal with an election, deal with a racist owner,
Yeah.
a minority owner, Kelly Loeffler, who was eventually forced out. There were so many things that were sort of historic from last year, and like this year, right now, there's a hearing going on. I'm sure you're aware of it with the NCAA and NILs, and there's not one woman testifying. There's not one current player testifying about this. And we continue to say we're moving forward, but there's example after example with the NCAA last year in the weight room. That was well chronicled.
Right.
And there's continuous examples, and so I look at it as an opportunity to continue the conversation instead of complaining. And we have to point it out, because social media is very powerful. But
Yes.
it's got to be very frustrating for you to see, these continuous examples of marginalizing women, but at the same time, we're moving forward. So it's, you have this dichotomy, where both things are happening at the same time. So, I just want to, talk again about what happened last summer and just say, that from my perspective, I've said it a million times and I still can't believe, the impact that the women had. Um, and the stance that they took, and the collective voice, that they what they stood for. And I just I don't know if you want to comment about that any further, but I just thought it was an amazing, it was just mind-blowing, to be quite honest with you. The Sports Deli is sponsored by City Lokes, CITYLOCS. You can find them online at citylokes.com, where you can go and make your own personalized license plate hats. They're so cool. You got to check them out. And don't forget to enter the code TheSportsDeli at checkout for your special 10% discount. And now back to this incredible interview right here in the Sports Deli.
Yeah. The thing is that is happening now is we don't accept when it's unfair. Like the example you gave about the weight room last year in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I saw it, I didn't even believe it. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah. Me too. Totally.
Like an empty room with few weights. Like you can't believe that's what's happening. And it is. So it means there is still people thinking that way. But step by step, we're gonna get there. And
Yeah.
the most important thing is to not accept it and everybody speak out on it. Because like you said, social media is so powerful, and both way, by the way. Because it can be good and it can be bad.
Yeah, right.
But it can definitely help the good things, people to be aware of what's going on. Because from France, I wouldn't be aware that's how they are treated over there. I wouldn't not even think about that.
It's
Like
different.
that was crazy. Well, in France, for example, the French national team, the women, we did that fight. I remember I played for the Olympics in 2000, and our captain and the team fought to have the same how you say, like hotels, traveling,
Right.
things than the guys.
Amenities. Yeah.
Yeah, amenities. Yeah, and that was 2000, and it's been 10 years at least where the women are really treated well. For like women, maybe a little difference, but
Yeah.
treated very, very, very well. Uh, and to see that in the States where basketball is so big, it's not possible. And the fact that it's not possible and everybody speak out on it, I thought that was great. And that's what we got to do for every little thing that is unfair. We cannot
Totally.
accept unfair things.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple things. You tell me what you want to talk about first, because the LGBTQ plus community, is obviously a very important thing in sports. Mental health is obviously, I don't know how it is in France, but it's for a long time in the Black and Brown communities, it's been a very taboo subject.
Right.
You either get roasted, in the hood, or you get made, or if there's a negative connotation associated with it. And
Right.
so I don't know if you want to touch on, we sort of in joking in the beginning about D Wade, uh, about his relationship with you guys, but I did watch his documentary. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see it.
So
It
it
was
just, yeah, in part, he talked about, his daughter who, Zaya, who is, identifies as a young lady, a straight transgender.
Mhm.
And so, that fight to sort of parallel it with, the women and the Black and brown community and the fight against systemic racism. They've been fighting for equality also for a long time. And so how was that viewed when you were in the league when you first started, and how do you see that transitioning now? Because obviously, no pun intended, that's such an important, thing for not only women and adults, but especially girls who I identify as young as 3, which Zaya knew at 3, that
Right.
she was in this space, and we have to, make sure that we support this space for these, men and women, boys and girls.
Well, I think that the most important thing is not to be ashamed, and they're not ashamed once they feel accepted and loved.
Hmm.
And now more and more people show support, show love, show respect to those who have a sexuality that is different, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that that's what evolved a lot, is that the support now got way bigger, got more open. Um, I don't remember when I used to play. I don't think it was not as open or as talked about. I play with Cheryl Swoops
Hmm.
that used to be in Houston. I played with her in
Right.
Russia, and
Hmm.
I think she was one of the first ones. She had in a magazine. She has a sponsor. I don't remember. It was
Yeah,
maybe
a little while ago. Yeah.
2005 or something.
Hmm.
But it was big. It was one of the. Now you see Sue and Megan
Right.
everywhere. You
Everywhere.
know, yeah. So, and it's not something new to see them together in a picture. Of course, they always look cool because they're just so cool.
That's right.
But it's not new anymore. So it changed a lot, and for the better. And I can see that it probably helped millions. I don't know about millions, but a lot of people to just be open and feel good about it.
Yeah. So, sort of in the same way with mental health, right? Because, Liz Cambage has come out, and others, even just comments from, white coaches, I don't think he meant it in the way that but you just can't do stuff like that, right? You can't say things about women, about their bodies. I have to be transparent. I said something when I was coaching at the college level. I made a comment, something about the big girl or something like that. And I was just trying to differentiate between the guards and the bigs. And
Right.
someone turned to me and said, "Coach, you can't say that. Like, obviously, I'm at a community college, so no one's going to say anything to me." And I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to do anything except just to say, "We have a mismatch here. Take advantage of your quickness." And so, but I think it's good that we're shedding light on even the
Yeah,
comments that were
because we don't
overlooked.
realize what we are
Right.
saying, like because it's and I'm pretty sure Camilla didn't mean what he said. Like
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
as coaching, you just said she's bigger, you faster. That's probably it.
Yeah.
But we still gotta be aware that it can hurt people's feeling.
Yeah.
So it's good to be aware of that. Mental health is something that I would have never thought existed like that.
Mhm.
If some players didn't speak out about it.
Totally.
I think Kevin Love and DeRozan. I think DeRozan was more
DeRozan. Yep.
open.
DeMar DeRozan. Yep.
And the first time you're like, how is that possible? You
Mm.
feel like they got it all.
Yeah.
Then the fact that several of them talk and explain, and if you think about it, it also makes sense. Called all the pressure, all the scrutiny, or the private life that must be different, and I don't know what else they got going on. And they're human, so just that you have feelings, you have like doubts, just like everybody else.
Totally.
So yeah, it was a surprise, and it is really good for all of us to hear about it, and to know, to be aware. I had one of my player this year that went through a hard time. And at the first time when a player talked to you, you're like, you're surprised, because you can't see it. If
Mhm.
if the player don't really express it, you don't really see it. They can't hide it, or you can just think they're having a bad day, or.
Yeah.
So the fact that they open the discussion is open again, just that it makes it easier for the next one.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And this is something that I always like to talk about, just because my father took his own life when I was 9, and so ever since then I've not even realize it in the ways that I sort of navigate life,
Right.
helping people in different ways, whether it's as a life coach or just taking a more holistic approach. Sports Deli is sponsored by PSK. You can find them online at lids.com, pskcollective.com, tjmax.com, walmart.com, and now Kohl's Department Store at Kohl's. Kohl's is Kohls, Kohl's.com. They have some incredible women's athletic wear that's all inclusive. And again, you can find them online at 5 different locations: lids.com, pskcollective.com, tjmax.com, walmart.com, and Kohl's.com. And now back to this incredible interview right here in the Sports Deli. And so do you see a change at the university level here in the States, or even in middle schools or high schools or professionally, where, a mental health professional, needs to be, just a part of that system at all times, just because even people that are okay, that feel like, hey, I don't need anyone to talk to. It's just good to have someone to talk to, like, just to vent, or just to
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a bigger part in everybody's life, and in a team. Like, for example, we took a mental coach to do team building things with the team, but also for players that needed to have someone, like you said, to talk to vent to go through something that they cannot do with their coach.
Right.
And I think it's gonna go at every level. All people are gonna be more aware. But it's definitely is going to change and take a bigger place, is bigger and bigger, I think, in the future.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, I don't know. In 5 years. That's too much for our kind of life. Right now, the most important thing for me is the stability of my family. James is a coach. He's part-time in the States, sometimes in France, and our son is 5 years old.
Right.
So my main job is to keep him in a stability environment. So right now he's going to school, staying in France, because just 2 years ago, we were living in 3 countries, and he was speaking 3 languages. Sometimes we were in Russia, sometimes we were in France, sometimes we were in the States. And James and I decided to calm things down for him. And I will be more often in France. He will be in school, and we're going to make him a little more like normal, stable life. So for right now, my main job is how is my son growing in a good environment, and of course to be there for James, and not forget myself. I don't want to forget myself with those 2 James Wade. We always joke about it, that I have to take care of 2 James Wade. But I actually love it. So in 5 years, I don't know. Maybe it's still here, because where we live is beautiful. It's the south of France. It's just like on vacation every day.
Wow.
Just look at my story every day, people, if you want to see how the south of France looks. So I don't know, but I will still be in basketball. Right now, I just ended the season as a GM, and I have a new commitment I want to do. I want try something new. Here's the scope, Michael. I want to take my time. My season ended up a month ago. So my goal was to take time to think what's the next step for me. I didn't want to rush into something. So that's why I want to take some time.
You've been a part of 3 decades, of professional basketball. And well, I've been living 7 decades, but it doesn't mean I'm in my 70s. So be careful.
Yeah, you scared me. I'm like, no way. What's going on there?
Hey, what's going on over there? That's right. All right, so let's hit the rapid fire, because I know you got to go get your son. So just answer these questions. It's a little bit of fun. So buckle your seatbelts and let's rock and roll. Okay, so what are you getting your amazing husband, the head coach of the Chicago Sky, for Father's Day?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. All right, fair enough. But it'll be something.
For sure, it will be.
For sure. A W. They had a good win.
Probably some kind of surprise, because we won't be with him. It will be some nice video with Jet too, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they had a good win the other day. Candace came back. Obviously, they're a huge part of their
Oh,
team,
yeah,
and so they played mad. They scored a lot of points.
yeah,
So
they
that was
needed
good.
that win.
Yeah, they scored in the 60s the game before, and they got after it. So that was good. It was good to see. Okay, so Sue, Diana, or Maya? Oh boy.
Diana or Maya. I can give you that.
Elena, Deladon, or Brianna Stewart?
Brianna Stewart.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so food in France, Spain, Moscow, or the United States?
In France, no doubt. That was easy. Too easy for rapid fire.
Yeah, I know. Okay, wait, so chicken cordon bleu or quiche Lorraine?
Lauren.
Ooh, interesting. Lamb chops with cognac Dijon cream sauce or ratatouille?
Lamb chops.
Ah, steak and potatoes, girl. There you go.
That's right.
That's right. So, are you a sneakerhead? Do you love sneakers?
I like, but I'm not. I'm not known. I'm
So,
not.
where's your favorite
I,
shoe that you ever wore?
I used to wear the KDs all the time, but I don't remember the exact name. But I used to love KD shoes.
So, you think KD is the best player in the NBA right now?
Mm, I don't know. Probably because he's still playing. LeBron is LeBron. Who else? Giannis. So probably KD. Maybe might be KD. You might be right.
Boy, his recovery from that injury, I got to be honest with you,
Maybe.
is mind blowing.
Yeah. It's probably KD.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite food though?
My favorite food is well, I love African food
Wow,
and I love Italian food.
interesting. What's an example of African food? I don't think I necessarily know what that is.
It's usually cooked with rice, but it can be a sauce, meat sauce, some kind of meat sauce where they put a little bit of everything. It's delicious, or fish. Like it's
Wow.
amazing. You have to try it one day.
Yeah, I've tried Indian food. I've tried a lot of different foods. And one of my clients, I'm a professional basketball skills trainer, and so one of my younger clients, he's sixth grade, but his family's Turkish, and so they invited me to dinner yesterday, and I don't even know what I ate, but it was it was unreal. I took a picture of it. I know there was a stuffed pepper, but all the other stuff, I was just like, this is
It's
it
really
was
good
it
too.
was
That's
so good. Yeah. Croissants or chocolate souffle?
both. I'm gonna tell you, I love food. That's how James got me. He came
Really?
home, he came to my house in France and cooked fried chicken. And then that was it. End of the story. I was in love.
Wow, seriously, that's crazy. That's amazing story. Wow.
Yeah. Chocolate souffle maybe because I just love chocolate.
There you go. So the Disney Channel or Rue Sesame?
What is Rue Sesame?
Like Sesame Street? Yeah.
The street.
Is that a thing back then?
Disney Channel.
No, there you go. So if you were shipwrecked on an island and you had food and water, what two items would you take with you besides a phone, tablet, or a computer?
Oh Lord. My Bible.
Oh, there you go.
And my sunglasses.
Interesting. And my sunglasses, my Bible. That's classic. Oh man. So would you rather know how many basketballs it takes to fill up your car or how many golf balls it takes to fill up your bathroom?
Basketball in the car for
Oh,
sure.
there you go. Right, of course. Would you rather have the ability to fly or be underwater for as long as you want?
Fly for sure.
Hmm. So what's on your bucket list that you want to do this year?
So many things. I want to
Besides the
travel
scouting?
more. After COVID, I love traveling. After COVID, we couldn't travel.
Oof.
I'm gonna go to a Vegas game because they invited all the players that play for San Antonio or the previous team. So I'm
Wow.
gonna go to Vegas for sure. So traveling again. What else? Read more. Take time to read. I would say those two things.
That's cool. Yeah, I've read a couple of books. I read White Fragility, and I read Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. Unbelievable had me crying. I had to put it down a few times. I listen as an audiobook, but it was so powerful. And if you haven't read that one, you got to check that out for sure. It was a movie too. And Euro or floater?
Floater.
So you were a 36% 3-point shooter for your career in the W. So would you rather pass to a teammate for a three or shoot the three?
Shoot it, because Becky always tell me, shoot it. She would always tell me that. She's the one
Yeah.
who changed my game. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. Shoot it.
That's right. That's funny. That's classic. The Sports Deli is sponsored by Moolah Kicks. Moolah is Moolah, like money, moolah, and kicks like shoes, one word. You can find them online at moolahkicks.com. And it's the first ever female-only brand basketball shoe. So it's a shout out to the basketball street culture, and it is also about fighting social injustice and gender inequality worldwide and here in the United States. And again, you can find them at moolahkicks.com. And now back to this incredible interview right here in the Sports Deli. Popcorn or candy at the movies?
Popcorn.
Butter?
Yeah.
Lots of butter?
No, I'm trying to. I don't know.
Pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
Whew. I love French toast, but I can do pancakes a lot. So both.
So have you ever had French toast with challah?
What is challah?
It's like a Jewish bread, but it's thicker.
I never tried. Is it good?
Wow. Oh my gosh. There's nothing like challah French toast. Yeah, you got it.
I love good French toast.
Yeah. So would you rather go in the past and meet your ancestors or go in the future and meet your grandchildren?
Oh wow, I would love to meet my grandchildren. Oh, you gotta know I'm crazy about my son and everything that is around him. So to meet future kids, oh my God. And
do you play sports?
He did basketball and he did soccer, and now we'll see what's next. He changed. He do sport all day long, all day. A lot of energy.
Yeah. So what's your favorite move? Is it an in and out? Is it a combo? A change of speed? A hezzy? What's your
When I played, it was the in and out.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyrie has definitely revolutionized that move. Yeah. Holy moly, he's amazing with that basketball. Would you rather be stuck on a ski lift or a broken elevator?
Oh, I think broken elevator. Broken ski lift. I don't know if they forget about us all night in the snow and the cold.
Right, and it's cold. Would you rather be 4'4" or 6'11"?
6'11".
Oh wow, interesting.
I'm not sure what 6'11" is because we don't speak in the.
Bill, yeah, he's 6'11".
Wow, yeah, I would have a great career basketball.
Yeah, right. You had a great career. So if someone was playing you and telling your story in a movie, what actress would you want playing your part?
Gabrielle Union.
Ooh, that's a good choice. So what song do you like to sing when you're by yourself in the car?
Whatever is popping at the radio. Right now, there's a French song that I love. So, and my son has been listening to Sean Paul. I don't know how
he did
Sean Paul. So now he's asking for it all the time in the car, in the house. This is so random. That's funny.
That's classic.
Yeah.
So would you rather spend a day at the beach or at Disneyland?
Well, Disneyland, I don't go often. At the beach, I'm there a lot because I live at the beach.
Yeah. So would you rather be able to speak to animals, aliens, or 10 languages?
10 languages.
Yeah, ditto. Would you rather fly to the moon or Mars?
The moon?
Would you like to exercise together with your husband, James, or watch a movie?
For sure, watch a movie.
That's hilarious. So wait, so obviously it's going to probably be MJ, but MJ, LeBron, or Kobe?
Yeah, MJ.
MJ, yeah. How did Kobe's death affect you? It-
It was horrible. First of all, the way it happened,
oh,
and with kids and family, it's
oh,
horrible.
yeah.
Then we had Gabby Williams playing in my team in France, and she was close to Kobe.
Oh,
So she was a mess. She had to travel back to the state. It was just a horrible phase. Like James Kobe was also very important to him. Like
yeah.
yeah, it was hard. Like and it's still hard when you see images of him or talking and it's always like this in life. We realize what we have once we lost it. And Kobe was just amazing.
Yeah.
And once you're a celebrity, you get criticized so much, and we didn't even realize how lucky we were to have Kobe Bryant, you know. So yeah, Kobe's death is definitely something that is huge.
Yeah. Well, hopefully people read his books, and take on his Mamba mentality, because I think it goes, much further than the court. It's just, something that can help you with life off the court, and just how you approach life, and be,
Right.
mentally tough, and just grind. And, we know about grinding, but when you're a kid, you don't understand that concept,
Yeah.
how to get through things, and fight, and, the value of that. So, well, I don't know if there's anything else you want to share. It's been an honor to have you on, this 25th season of the W. Your husband's writing that ship. It's injuries and salary cap, and it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy. But they're on the upswing, so that's good to see. You're doing well there in France. And so are you going to come here and visit it all
Yeah.
when school's
I'll
over?
be there in
Okay.
a few weeks. Yeah, I'll be there in a few weeks. At the end of the month, we're coming and we're gonna stay with him the whole summer.
Oh, that's awesome. That'll be a lot of fun. So anything else you want to share before you go pick up your son?
No, go Chicago Sky. When they
Yes.
pick it up, they're gonna score because scoring is not gonna be a problem for them.
Nope.
So I'm excited to keep watching them. And thank you for your show. Thank you for all the topics that you're bringing people. This is great. Just get to get to know you, and I love what you're doing. That's really
Yeah, I
nice.
appreciate it. All right. Honor to have you on. Thank you. And stay safe, and safe travels when you come over here. And much love and respect. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Bye.
Edwige. Thanks so much.
Bye.
We can't thank Edwige Lawson-Wade enough for joining us here in the Sports Deli. It was great to chop it up with her and talk to her about so many different things. And it's so interesting to hear different women's stories and how they made it, and to see the unity and the global collectiveness that exists, where there's not the fear of companies or advertisers or teams, the fear of retaliation, of sponsorships, and if anything, it's encouraged now to speak out against anything that doesn't promote equality or the right thing. So for Dr. J and Coach K, I am Hootie Hoot. Bet on women, bet on the WNBA. Until next time, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed sharing space with us. It's been an honor as always. Remember, please mask up. Still, especially if you haven't been vaccinated. Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian hate, and remember, it takes a village.